let's take a look at my third and final manga haul from the summer of 2023. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, so literally this is my August manga haul, and I just put it off until the very end of September because I was trying to catch up on reading all of this stuff, and there was a lot and I was a little bit behind, but I've gotten through pretty much everything that I'm about to show here, and I like to be able to say, like, this was a good book, or I recommend this new volume 1, rather than just going through and being like, I bought this, I bought this, I bought this. Partially because a lot of times people will accuse me of not reading everything that I buy when that's not true, but also because I like these videos to be a little bit more helpful than me just like showing you what I bought. Anyway, if you're new here, hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you'll stick around and subscribe to the channel. But the way that my haul videos work, we're gonna go through all of the new release books that I got, starting from the publisher that I have the least amount of books from to the publisher that I have the most amount of books from. Once we finish that, I'll take a quick ad break, and then we'll show some of the Blu-rays, some of the anime that I bought during the month of August, and then after that we'll go into the older manga that I picked up throughout the month of August, and then we'll wrap up the video. So let's jump on into it. I've got a couple stacks here of some publishers that I have just, 1, 2, or 3 books from. Starting off with Dark Horse, just one new release from them, Mob Psycho 100 Volume 12. We are past the like 2/3 point with the series. I believe at this point we are. Yeah, we're past 2/3 on this one. So I think it ends with like 16 or 17 volumes. So we're not that far off. Usatoki Rhetoric Volume 4. This is a fantastic mystery series being published by One Piece Books. One Piece doesn't have a huge catalog, but they have some really great titles in the small catalog that they are putting out, and Usatogi Rhetoric is one of those great titles. If you're into mysteries and stuff like that, it's great, and unlike Detective Conan or Case Closed, it's only 10 volumes, so it's not a crazy, huge amount of stuff to get into. And one book from Glacier Bay, this is Mothers. This is a nice, thick anthology. It's got like 12 different stories about just motherhood and like the relationships between mothers and children and stuff like that. A really great anthology book, and honestly anything from Glacier Bay is great. Then we've got a couple from Denpa. First up is Baby Bear's Bakery Volume 2 and Under Ninja Volume 2. If you liked I Am a Hero, this is the same creator, and it's getting an anime, or the anime might have just recently started. There's an anime adaptation for Under Ninja, so if you wind up enjoying the anime, you can pick up the manga from Denpa. It is a great presentation, and it is a really fun series. Then we got a couple from Webtoon. The first one is Doombreaker. This one is just action-packed, but really nice colored artwork throughout. I'm not 100% sold on it just yet, but I'll pick up the second volume to see how it goes. But this other one from Webtoon and DC Comics was a lot of fun. This is the Batman Wayne Family Adventures. I remember when this one started being published on the app a couple years ago. I read the first couple chapters, really enjoyed it, but I waited, and I'm glad that they put it out physically, because then I got to read all this stuff for the first time. If you're into Batman but have never read any Batman comics, and you just kind of like having fun with the characters and stuff, this is a really great representation of the characters from the Bat family. You get like all the Robins, the Batgirls, etc. are all involved in this series, and it's just a really fun, cute title. Then we've got 3 from Tokyo Pop. First up, the Fox and the Little Tanuki. This one has a horizontal cover on it. That's volume 6. Volume 3 of Sengoku Yoko. This is from the same creator as Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. And World End Solte is the other one that's being published right now, and Spirit Circle. So if you're a fan of those, this is a great little action series. 3 volumes in right now. I think it's a total of 17, but it's been a lot of fun so far. And then we got a 3-in-1 omnibus edition for Stitch and the Samurai. This is the paperback, but they did also release a hardcover omnibus of this one. This is about Stitch landing in feudal Japan, and instead of being with a little girl like in the Lilo and Stitch movie, he's with a samurai. I haven't gotten to read that one yet, but I've heard a ton of great things from people who have. Next up, we've got from Square Enix a few books. First up is The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, Volume 5. I didn't watch the anime of that one. I heard I wasn't crazy about what I'd seen of the animation, but from one of my friends, he said that Gohan's did kind of calm down with the symbiotic looking hair and stuff that she has, but it's a really cute manga. I enjoy it, even if the premise is pretty silly, like, don't forget your glasses, girl. Then we've got another cute little one, is My Clueless First Friend. This one's about a couple of young kids who are, each other's first friends, and they have kind of a little cute budding romance between them. This is a 2-in-1 release from Square Enix. And then finally, or no, we got more from Square Enix actually, more than I expected. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from Square Enix, my bad. Just 3 of them were smaller volumes. The Apothecary Diaries, The Great Yahi Will Not Be Defeated, Cherry Magic, and Ragna Crimson. This one I know the anime is starting soon because Sentai High Dive just recently debuted the first episode, and I've heard some really good things about it. All right, so we're gonna move on over to the 7 Seas stack, and I've got quite a bit from 7 Seas this month. All right, 7 Seas, first up is Summer Ghost. This is an all-in-one thick volume based on the like OVA or whatever, the short film that came out not that long ago, like a year ago or something. Pretty good. I personally enjoyed the short film better. The animation is fantastic, but the manga is still really good as well, especially if you watched the film and enjoyed it. You might want to pick that up. Here's one that I'm really enjoying is Candy and Cigarettes. This is a great action series that 7 Seas has been putting out, and it's only 11 total volumes. So this being volume 5, volume 6 comes out in October. We're going over that halfway hump. Next up we have What He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate Says. This is about the red string of fate, and basically a guy who falls for a girl whose red string doesn't attach to him, and so he's kind of like, whatever, I don't buy that. I'm gonna still kind of chase after her even though our red string doesn't go together. For some reason he can see the red string. And then the 100 Girlfriends That Really, 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 Really Love You. Funny as always. If you're unaware of the premise, he has to date 100 different girls, and if he doesn't, then there will be dire consequences for them. And it winds up just being a really silly concept. Here's a new one that debuted for, it was a new August release, I guess, and that is Sawara and the House of Monsters. Or did it come out in September and I got it in August? I don't remember. Either way, it's a new volume 1, really fun series. The girl winds up working with some dwarves who are like dwarven architects, and their entire job that they give themselves is to run around and build houses for various monsters. So in this one, they build a house for some goblins, they build a house for slime, and they get really good at like doing whatever that particular species needs them to do in order for the house to be the most hospitable and the most perfect home that they can ask for. And it's really fun, it's really lighthearted, and it's very charming. I highly recommend it. If you want something kind of wholesome and charming to read, this is gonna be up your alley. Another one that I've really been enjoying is Dinosaur Sanctuary. This one's a lot of fun. Basically just Jurassic Park the manga, but like the dinosaurs are not escaping and eating people. It's just kind of more wholesome. And it has a fold-out map of the park, the Dinosaur Sanctuary. But yeah, there's theme park type places, sanctuaries similar to Jurassic Park, except the dinosaurs aren't getting out and like eating everyone. Tokyo Revengers. This is the 7th omnibus, so volumes 13 and 14, so we're reaching that halfway mark in that series. Loving it. I love the series. I know what happens at the end, and I know a lot of people didn't like the ending, but knowing what happens, I'm like, that I don't see any, like the ending makes sense with what's going on in the series as far as what I've read in the first half, so I love it. Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko, volume 3 out of 5. This is another really great, relaxing series, just kind of a post-apocalyptic world with a cyborg girl, and everything is really chill in the series. I highly recommend it if you want something that's just easy to sit back and relax with. And then we've got Last Game, volume 2. I think this is a 10-volume shoujo romance series about a couple people who have been one-upping each other since childhood, and they've continued that. But of course, the last game is like to one-up each other in love towards each other, whatever. It's funny. I enjoy it. Yakuza Fiance. This one is a fantastic, if you are into Yakuza series, this is going to be for you, and I am into Yakuza stuff, and this is basically perfect for me. The illustrations are beautiful, and it gets better as the series goes on. This is volume 4. If you look up like volumes 5 and onward, the cover artwork is amazing. Game Between the Suits, Volume 4. I believe this is out of 5, so 5 should be the last one. This is a little more of a spicy romance series. And then we've got The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-be Wife. This one's a really cute little romance about some people that work in an office building, and the ink is like bluish teal instead of being a bunch of black ink. Well, there is black ink, but it has the bluish teal backgrounds and stuff, which I really appreciate. It makes it stand out from other stuff. Cute series, cute little romance series that I'm really digging. Another shoujo romance is the classic Marmalade Boy. We got volume 3, I believe, out of 5 of these new editions from 7 Seas. These are gorgeous. They have full colored pages throughout that can display Wataru Yoshizumi's artwork really well. I don't believe the old editions had that, so that's something new here. And then The Valiant Must Fall. This is really good. I would recommend this for people who are looking for something. Maybe you're into Rurouni Kenshin, but because of the creator, you don't want to really read or watch Rurouni Kenshin. The Valiant Must Fall is going to be for you. I highly recommend it. Now let's move over from 7 Seas to my Yen Press stack. Yen Press stack is a little bit bigger than the 7 Seas stack, and part of that is because there's a lot of stuff that they sent me, like early review copies and whatnot, that I would have put into the buyer's guide for September, but they didn't arrive in time, so here I'm talking about them. So technically I got these in September, but I'm showing them here anyway. First up, the Red Dragon Academy for Girls. This is a spin-off of the I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years series, so I didn't check this one out just because I'm not familiar with the base series, so I'm not going to really understand the characters and stuff. The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor. This one was pretty cute, just a little kind of romance title. Stray Cat and Wolf. I didn't finish this first volume. I read the first chapter, but I really enjoyed it. The girl moves kind of into the big city and gets mixed up with a guy that's a guitar player. I'm going to check this one out and finish the first volume, see how I feel about it, see if I want to keep going. The Maiden of the Needle. This one was not exactly for me. Nothing wrong with it. It just didn't really compel me reading that one. The Deer King, if you're familiar with the film of the same name, this is based on the same novel that was based on. This is the first of 2 volumes, 2, I'm assuming thick volumes because the first one's thick. Really enjoyed what I've read of this one so far. I'm gonna finish this up and I'll wind up picking the second volume up as well when it comes out. And then we've got Jungle Juice. This is from Eyes Press, so this is a manhwa release. This one was really fun. Very shonen action type of series where people have been imbued with insect-like powers and attributes. The main character has dragonfly wings. There's a lot of other people that have different attributes like that, and he tries to hide it, but something happens towards the beginning of the series where he has to unveil his insect attributes to the world to save someone, and then he winds up getting sucked into this whole world of people who also have insect powers and abilities and whatnot. Very, very cool first volume there. I'm looking forward to continuing. Then we've got Glitch Volume 1. This is from Shima Shinya, creator of Lost Lad London. So if you enjoyed that one, definitely pick this one up. This one is another kind of mystery series, so if you enjoyed Lost Lad London, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. And I love Shima Shinya's illustration, so definitely looking forward to that one. Then we've got The Ephemeral Scenes of Setsuna's Journey. Read the first chapter of this one. I thought it was okay. I might continue and read the rest of it, but it didn't really grab me like some of these other ones did from the last month. Now this is all the Yen Press stuff that I picked up myself. First up, we've got Oshino Ko Volume 3. This one's still a lot of fun. I don't really have to say anything about it. Y'all know what it's about. Then we've got Pandora 7 Volume 2. This one's a really interesting fantasy series that has this Hellraiser looking guy that shows up. Really fast-paced fantasy action also. If you want some fantasy action, that's going to be one that I recommend picking up. Mons Taboo Volume 4. Didn't realize this was the last volume until I picked it up and started reading it, and I'm like, oh, it's the end. It was okay. the greatest series, but it was fun enough, and I like the artwork. Then we've got Honey Lemon Soda Volume 3, another great shoujo rom-com series. This volume, Volume 3, I think is really picking up. I really like what they were doing with the characters in this volume. First 2 were fine. 3 is really where it got going. Then we've got another little rom-com. This one I think is only 3 volumes total. Sunbeams in the Sky, about a couple twins that kind of switch places. Not really for like a Parent Trap type thing, but they switch places in the series. Then we've got What This World Is Made Of Volume 2. I still need to finish the first volume, but I enjoyed what I've read enough that I knew I wanted to pick up the second volume. Then we've got Yokohama Station SF, exact same as the previous book. I haven't finished the first volume, but I know I liked enough that I wanted to pick up the second volume. Then we've got Solo Leveling Volume 7. This one's anime is coming out really soon. If you haven't checked out the manhwa yet, I definitely recommend checking out the anime. It's just great action. It's fun. It's easy to read. I recommend it if you just want a good plain old action series. Business Proposal, another manhwa one, and this, similar to those other 2, I haven't finished the first volume, but I like what I've read, so I did pick up the second volume. This one I think is also not that long. Like, I think it's only about 6 volumes, so not a huge commitment. Doomsday with My Dog Volume 3. This is another kind of relaxing title, and it's full color. So if you want some full color manga, that's cool. It's a 4-coma about post-apocalypse, girl walking around with her dog, meeting different people, different animals, some aliens and stuff. It's cool. And then Yawamushi Pedal Volume 23. So this is another 2-in-1 for this series, going up to 46, and they have like 80 volumes in Japan, so we are nowhere near caught up. Now we're gonna move over to my Biz Media stack, which is the second biggest stack that I have for the month. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, a lot of great stuff from Biz Media. Volume 3 of Love's in Sight. This one has like 8 or 10 volumes total, but it's a fun little rom-com series about, move this over here so that the lighting is maybe better. But basically just a girl who is impaired in her vision, falls in with the bad boy, and it's cute. It's a cute little romance. Komi Can't Communicate, still one of my favorite rom-coms right now. Absolutely love it, even though the title, she's doing decent about communicating, so I feel like it doesn't need to be called Can't Communicate anymore. Mission Yazakura Family Volume 6. This one is great. I don't think people talk about it enough, and I'm glad that we're getting it physically. Hopefully the anime adaptation brings a little bit more attention to it. JJK, people know about JJK, I don't need to tell you all about that. Shoha Shoten, same artist as Bakuman and Death Note, so if you're into either of those, this one is about some kids who form a comedy troupe. And it's interesting because like you would think that a lot of the comedy would fall flat because it's translating from Japanese to English, but it works pretty well, and you get a good explanation of like how their comedy works and like different techniques and stuff to get the crowd going. It's an interesting series. I've been enjoying it. Now another one from Tatsuya Endo, Blade of the Moon Princess. Same creator, of course, as Spy Family. We had Tista from Endo before. Tista ended, now we have this one, which I think is like 5 volumes. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future Viz announces, because I think he just has like some short stories, so maybe we'll get an Endo short story collection after this. But this was a decent first volume. No complaints from me. My Hero Academia Volume 35. Great volume. Don't really need to say anything about the series. Dragon Ball Super Volume, 19? I think 20 is the end of this current arc with Granola, the Savior, and all of that stuff. And then they move into some other things afterwards, but I've been really enjoying the Dragon Ball Super manga and like the new arcs and stuff over there. They're not the most creative things in the world, but it's a lot of fun, and that's all that matters. Blue Box Volume 6, another great Shonen Jump sports rom-com type series, and The Elusive Samurai Volume 8 from the same creator as Assassination Classroom, so if you like that one, definitely recommend picking this one up. It has beautiful artwork. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible Volume 9. This one ends with 12, so we're almost at the end of this cute little rom-com series. And then we've got Star Wars The Mandalorian Manga Volume 1. This one is basically just an adaptation of stories from the series, so if you've seen the series, you don't need it, but it is kind of fun to see it in manga form. Just want to make sure you know, like, in case you're worried they're going to have new original stories with the characters. Children of the Whales 22, I believe 23 is the last one, so we're almost at the end of that series. And then Chojin X Volume 3, another great action-packed volume. Heart Gear Volume 1, this was a fun debut. Just, if you're into robot action, this one's gonna be for you. Same creator as Black Torch, so if you like their artwork and stuff over there, that's definitely gonna be worth looking into. Rooster Fighter Volume 4, fantastic, fun, and funny as always. Speaking of funny series, Way of the House Husband Volume 10, always hilarious, always a great series. Lifts my mood every time I read it. Zom 100 Volume 11, officially in the series, I think he's crossed off 53 or 54 items from the bucket list. So we're past the halfway point with Volume 11. It might end around like 20 to 22 volumes. We'll see. Then we've got some hardcovers. First up, Cat-Eyed Boy from Kazuo Umez. If you're a fan of Umez, if you're a fan of horror, this is going to be a great one, especially if you're a fan of like yokai stuff. It's kind of just somewhat of an anthology of stories that are disconnected, aside from the fact that the Cat-Eyed Boy is there, and he's this like half human, half demon that has to live between both worlds. Really great volume. It's a big, thick hardcover. Not as thick as the Drifting Classroom, but it is still pretty thick, and it's expensive too. $35 cover price. But really glad they reprinted that, because I've been searching for a while for the paperbacks, so now I don't have to do that. Next up we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind Volume 9, the end of Part 5. It's really gorgeous cover art on this one. Really excited that we're getting Part 6 in November. It's right around the corner, and they're speeding it up to one volume every other month instead of one volume every third month. And then we've got The Gangster's Guide to Housekeeping, Way of the House Husband. If you're a fan of that series, this has tips from the dragon himself of how to cook, how to clean, how to do all kinds of stuff around the house. Just a fun little book there. So that's all the Biz Media stuff. Now going into the largest stack that I have for the month, Kodansha. Let me bring that one over. All right, we got hella books from Kodansha this month. I had to bust it down into 2 stacks. Starting off, we have Nichijou Volume 11, the much-awaited 11th volume of the series from Keiichi Arawi. Lovesick Ellie Volume 11. I think 12 is the last one, so that one's almost done. Orient Volume 16 from the same creator as Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. So if you enjoy that one, you might enjoy this one. Four Knights of the Apocalypse Volume, what is this? 9. Wow, we're already 9 volumes in. The kind of spin-off sequel series to Seven Deadly Sins. So if you're a fan of Seven Deadly Sins, that's going to be one for you to pick up. Go Go Loser Ranger, from the same creator as Quintessential Quintuplets. Very different plot. It's kind of a Sentai, play on Sentai stuff like Power Rangers and stuff like that. Really, really fantastic series. I think the anime is starting sometime in the near future as well. I recommend this heavily if you're a fan of Sentai, like if you're a fan of Power Rangers and stuff like that. Eden's Zero, Volume 24. And Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, Volume, what is this, 3? Yeah, 3. Got a lot of catching up to do on that one, so it'd be cool if they kind of speed the release along. Blood on the Tracks, Volume 14. This one ended very recently in Japan, and I think in total we're gonna have 17 volumes, so we're getting towards the end there. That was funny because he had mentioned that like after Volume 12, he's like, that's the end of the prologue. And then the rest of the series, like the main part of the series, is only 5 volumes. Okay. Darwin Incident, Volume 1. This was a cool kind of, I'm going to say if you enjoyed the new Planet of the Apes trilogy, check this one out. You'll probably enjoy it as well. Next up, we've got Quality Assurance in Another World, Volume 3. Still really enjoying this one. It's kind of an isekai. It like takes place inside of a video game, and there's some debugger programs in there that are interacting with the NPCs. It's a really interesting series so far. I've been enjoying it, and this one's also getting animated sometime like next year. Tsugumi Project Volume 2, really great action series. Ended recently, or is ending soon in Japan, and it's going to have like maybe 6 volumes, so it's not a huge commitment. Windbreaker Volume 1. If you are looking for some delinquents in your manga, this is the series for you. This scratches that itch. Dude moves to a new town that is kind of protected by their delinquents, and he's like, I don't really care about that. I just want to be the toughest fighter here. and he starts getting mixed in with all these other kids that are fighting and stuff. The Yakuza's Bias Volume 2, this one's really funny, especially if you're a fan of like K-pop and stuff like that, and you know about biases and whatnot. It's a Yakuza who starts listening to K-pop and gets really invested in that fandom and that culture. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. This is a really fun isekai type title. Honestly, Volume 1 was fantastic. Volume 2 not as great, but I've heard Volume 3 gets better, so I'm going to give it one more volume to make up my mind whether I want to continue with it, but in the meantime, it's pretty fun. The title is pretty self-explanatory. She's saving gold so she can retire in the real world. And if that sounds fun to you, then check it out. Shangri-La Frontier Volume 7. Really enjoying this one. I mention every time that like the first few volumes I was kind of iffy about it, but once Volume 3 or 4 hit, I was like all in. This is great. Dude who was like, just beats the crap out of any video game, finally finds a game that's like kind of his match, and he's struggling through, and it reminds me kind of like Dot Hack, if you grew up with that series, but I really have loved it so far. Very recommended. Blue Lock Volume 8, I don't think I have to say much about that one. Land of the Lustrous Volume 12, this series is finally back. Came back from a massive hiatus. Something's Wrong With Us Volume 16. This was the final volume of the main series. There are 2 more volumes, but in Japan they were not the same, like they were numbered differently. So this is the end of the main series. 17 and 18 are kind of like epilogue stuff. One Dance Volume 6, really great series about like hip-hop dance crews and stuff like that. A lot of fun, really fantastic artwork and action throughout. I'm hoping that this one gets picked up somehow for an anime. They're gonna have to like either spend a lot of money on licensed music or abandon all the licensed music that appears in there, but I would love to see the dancing in fluid motion. The Noragami Omnibus Volume 7, yes, this is 7. It collects up to 21. 9 will be the last one. This one is ending somewhat soon. 8 comes out, I think, in October? Or no, October, November? I don't know. 8's coming out sometime in the near-ish future. 9 hasn't been announced yet because the final volume has not yet been published in Japan, so therefore it hasn't been published yet in English. But it's ending soon. If you've ever been tempted to get into it, I recommend jumping into the series now so that you can have time to catch up before those last couple volumes. 7 Deadly Sins Omnibus Volume 11. This collects up to 33 out of 41 or 42 volumes. I forget exactly. I think 41, and there's an extra volume that makes it up to 42. So we have just a few more of these 3-in-1s left. And then Parasite, the full color hardcover edition, Volume 3. These are beautiful, and just like the first 2, it has a letter on the spine, so it was P, A, and now R, and they're all gonna spell out the name Parasite. So that's it for all of the new manga that I picked up. Now let's go ahead and grab the Blu-rays, the anime and stuff that I picked up, and then we'll end the video with all of the older manga that I grabbed throughout the month of August. So I did grab some Blu-rays through the month of August, but first, before I show those, a quick word from me about the sponsor for today's show, which is Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. Here in the States, we have Right Stuff Anime, soon to be the Crunchyroll store though, as a fantastic option where we can get manga at good discounts. They have pretty much everything on time or early. Great solution for manga collectors in the US, and there are tons of other stores that we can shop at for manga as well outside of Right Stuff or the soon-to-be Crunchyroll store. But if you happen to be outside of the US and if you are in the EU, Walt's is a great store for you to shop at. They have tons of fantastic reviews online from very satisfied customers. They have a great selection of not just manga, but Western comics, stuff from like Marvel, DC, Image. So if you're a manga collector, but you want to dip your toes into comics as well, you can get some of that from Walt's. They do have a brick and mortar store in Berlin, so you can pop in and say hello, let them know that the Omnibus Collector sent you, or you can order online, and if you use code TheOmnibusCollector at checkout on your first order of €40 or more, you can get free shipping. So check out Walt's Comic Shop for y'all in the EU. I'm hoping that they can work as a great solution for your manga shopping needs. Again, use code TheOmnibusCollector for your first order, and you'll get free shipping as long as it's €40 or more. That said, let's take a look at the Blu-rays that I picked up for the month. We've got a couple of older ones. Digimon Adventure Tri, this is the 6-film collection, and then the kind of follow-up, Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kuzuna. I picked these up now because I started rewatching the original series, and I wanted to make sure that I had these so that I could watch them as they follow up on the characters from the original, from the first series. And it's not out yet, but Discotek is putting out the second series on Blu-ray, starting with the English dub, and then they're going to do a separate release for the Japanese, just like they did for the first series. Then we've got some new releases from Discotek. Kamen Rider Black RX, this is the second set for Kamen Rider Black, and then we've got one of my favorite anime, Cromartie High School. This is a hilarious high school delinquent series. If you're into delinquents at all and you haven't seen this one, you gotta check it out. It is one of my favorite anime. It is hilarious. I rewatched it recently with my Twitch viewers. I had people pop in and we watched it together, and it was a really fun time showing that series to a lot of people for the first time. And the last of the Blu-rays is Sailor Moon S. This is the 3rd season, collecting the entirety. What episodes does this include? 38 episodes from 90 to 127. So the 3rd of those releases from Biz Media. I don't know if they announced the 4th one just yet or not. So that's all the Blu-rays. Let's jump into the older manga that I picked up, because I grabbed some stuff from a local convention, a small convention, but they had some cool stuff. And then I also ordered a few older things from Right Stuff. Let's jump into that. Okay, so from the convention, at like every anime convention I've been to, they have, I think it's Anime Pavilion that shows up, and they have a ton of stock, but like there's so much stock that they can't shelf it all. So I end up just having a bunch of boxes that are just still packed, and you can look through them, but it's kind of a pain to move around those totes and those boxes and stuff. So every convention that I go to, Anime Pavilion has sold more and more stuff, so there's new things on the shelves that I didn't get to see at the previous convention. So even though I went to them and shopped with them at Anime Expo and also at C2E2 and also at like San Diego Comic-Con last year, this year at the small convention that they were at, I got to shop with them again. I found Flowers and Bees from Moyoko Anno. This is volume 7 from the wife of Hideaki Anno, the creator of Evangelion. And we've got some volumes of Jack Frost from Yen Press. There's volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, 7, and 9. And then these two were not from Anime Pavilion, but elsewhere. This old Dark Horse releases. You're Under Arrest, 2 volumes of that one. I think they only published 2, maybe 3 volumes total in English, but I was really excited to find those and for cover price. And then these I got, these are older releases that I got from Right Stuff. First up, we've got Sadako at the End of the World. This is based on The Ring. I have all of the other like Ring related manga, and when I realized that I didn't have this one, I was like, ooh, I need to pick that one up. So I made a quick order. And finally, the reprints happened for Omnibus 4, 5, and 6 of Oh My Goddess from Dark Horse. So we're caught up with the reprints for when the 7th volume comes out. I think it's currently scheduled for next January. It was originally scheduled to come out in October, but that obviously got delayed. But we've got all 6 of the Omnis that were previously published are back in print, so you can pick those up and get ready for that 7th volume. The series in total is like 48 volumes, so there's gonna be, what is that, 16 omnibus editions, so we're not even at the halfway point yet. So it's going to be a while, but you know, it's a lot of fun to see that coming back. It's cool to see Dark Horse returning to older series, and hopefully there's going to be some more series they return to in the near future. Anyway, that is the haul for August, or as I called it, the 3rd and final summer manga haul. I'll see y'all again soon for my September haul. I don't think nearly as big as this was, but still some cool stuff. I did get some other things at that convention. This shirt, for instance, a bunch of other shirts, a Tokyo Manji Gang jacket, and a couple of posters, maybe a couple other things that I'm forgetting about, but this is all the manga and anime. I didn't really feel like pulling stuff out of my closet today. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate y'all spending time with me. If this was your first time watching one of my videos, I hope that you enjoyed it. Maybe I turned y'all on to some new things that you didn't know had come out. Whatever the case, hope you enjoyed spending time with me, because I always enjoy spending time with you. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.